Light coming through.
He's been going out. I'm so busy for me of these.
He is.
There's a lot going on. This is not a busy time of year. What's going on in the country? Just everything.
Dr. Jones, I think they're getting everybody together finally. We're almost there.
All right.
Yeah, we're waiting for 2 more commissioners to sign in.
Okay.
It's a historical thing because you know it's a historical.
Right, gotta be particular.
We had to wait, get the windows right. And it's like a haunted house. Oh man, we have no sunlight. It's crazy.
Oh, I can't imagine where
It affects your work.
I bet
It does.
you feel like trapped or something.
It does. And girls are getting hot. Like it's the sunlight.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. That you, Miss Johnson?
Yes, it is.
All right, that's 3 of us. We need, oh, there's Mr. Washington coming in now.
Sorry about my dogs.
You ought to hear my house.
Dr. Hargrove, how are you doing? I know you might not be able to talk, so you can just give me a thumbs up or whatever.
I'm trying not to.
I understand. That's why I was like, thumbs up, thumbs down,
Yeah.
whatever you need to do.
Are you there, Mr. Washington? I think you're muted right now.
Is Dr.
sorry,
Hargrove sick?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just came on. What was the question?
I was just making sure you were there. and
Oh,
knew
yes,
you were
ma'am.
muted.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Sharice, that's our quorum. Those are the only 4 commissioners. You guys are the only 4 commissioners going to be here today.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. Sorry, I'm working with 2 computers so that I can see the agenda and the other documents and still be on Zoom with all of you. Okay, so I call this meeting to order at what time? 12:02 p.m. Thursday afternoon. Good to see everybody from here in Jonesboro. Let's see, do we have any guests today? Guests, do we have any guests?
Yes.
Okay, so if you would go ahead and introduce those, because I can't tell. Sabrina, you're a guest. Okay, I'm so sorry. Go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Yes, ma'am. This is Sabrina McCoy, and I submitted an application, the one entitled We Are Malele.
Mhm. Okay. And do we have another guest present? All right, if I don't hear anything, I'm gonna move on. All right, let us now move to reviewing the minutes from the February meeting. If everybody has had a chance to look at those. Anybody need some extra time to look at the minutes?
All the commissions are at home.
4 of them. Yes.
I move we accept the minutes.
See,
As written.
Okay, so it's been moved by Ms. Pat.
Pat Johnson.
By Ms. Pat. And can we get a second?
Second, Hargrove.
Okay, thank you so very much. The minutes have been approved. All right, let me close that window. And let's see, we also have the financial report.
Yes, ma'am. Is there any questions on that?
Any questions about the financial report?
There were no changes.
So no changes to the report? So then I'll entertain a motion to accept the financial report.
Does it need to be accepted?
Not really. It's just basically informational for you guys.
Oh, okay, so, never mind. All right, moving right
Okay.
along then. So we taking care of the financial report? Sorry?
What was
Okay.
that, Miss Johnson?
Yes, uh-huh.
Did you have a question?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, if there aren't any questions, sorry, my dog is hearing strange noise, going berserk. And I've got
Ooh,
two
it
big
sounds
dogs,
like a big
so you may
dog.
be hearing from them. All right, so let's now move to presentations by the Sykes grant applicants, and the first one is,
I think as we are Mullally in spite of Tubob, I can't say that name correctly, but the applicant is online to answer any questions y'all may have.
okay, I'm trying to open it up now, my apologies.
Recording in progress.
Thank you. So we don't have any, okay, so yes, Mullally, let's go ahead and hear from, I'm sorry, Sabrina, please, stop it. I'm sorry.
Which one are we doing?
We are Mullally in spite of, we are Mullally. I know it starts with that. My apologies that I'm not quite sure.
Start
how
of Tubu.
So I
Yes,
know,
yes.
I know that's the one for Sabrina. So would you like to go ahead and talk about that one?
Is there a particular style of presentation, or you guys just want me to sum up the project?
Yes, just tell us about the project. Sum up the
Okay,
project. Summation is
We Are
always good.
Mullally. What I did is I started looking into my family's genealogy, and I traced our family back to 1866 in Arkansas.
Okay.
And so I have been chronicling the life story of the Foots family in Arkansas. I have been gathering a lot of the old family photos and archiving those, the ones with the convex bubbled painting portraits, documents from the railroad, documents that my 4 times great grandfather filed with the Freedmen's Bureau when he had a claim against one of the local planters for stealing his portion of the cotton. And I mean, just a lot of historical documents. And so as I was began interviewing some family members and driving to locations, I decided to compile all of that into a history book. And so We Are Mullally will be a historical, creative nonfiction of our family and the life and times that those family members lived in. And so my 4 times great grandmother was a full-blooded Chinook Indian. And throughout the census records, it shows how her ethnicity changed from being Chinook to Negro to Black to colored. I mean, she ultimately was reclassified as a whole nother race. And so that is documented in the book. The photographs, where they lived, where they worked, and the socio-political times that they lived in. And so the We Are Mullally in spite of Tubob is a culmination of all of that, those historical documents, oral stories, photographs of locational spots. I've picked several of them that I want to go and visit, and then just some additional photographs I would like to be able to also purchase and put in that historical book.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And it will well, just my last thought, it will go from the year of, well, right before emancipation, and then all the way up through the warring years, so World War II in 1930s and 40s.
Thank you for that. Are there any questions?
Madam Chair.
Well,
Hargrove again.
Well,
I'm sorry?
The Elise Hampton questions of May 18th. This is Hargrove.
Yes, sir. I do have those questions. We do have questions, Ms. McCoy, from one of our commissioners via email. She wanted to know, she said she noticed that the fiscal agent appeared to be listed at 2 addresses, Labor Circle and Battery. She wanted to know which is the correct address.
Battery.
Battery, okay. Also, will there be any recorded audio archived?
So the interviews, initially I wanted to do a videography, but that was gonna be cost prohibitive. So it's just gonna be their oral stories that will be put in narrative format for the book itself.
And I also had a question. What is Harlem Lyrics?
That is the entity that is the business entity here in Arkansas that we're going through, the fiscal agent, Chauncey
Okay.
Holloman. She has that company.
Okay.
I have a question, Pat Johnson. What will you give to the archives? What will we get from?
A physical
Your-
copy of the book, but I am also asking family members. There are a lot of really cool photographs that date back in the early 1900s that I've been able to kind of archive for the book. And so I have already talked to them by saying, encouraging and saying, hey, this is our stamp, our footsteps, so to speak, in Arkansas. And just like it was, I felt honored to see some of those photographs of family members that were doing certain things that I know my family did, but we didn't have any photographs to capture that. We will do the same by incorporating some of our photographs in with the state. So I want to, and a lot of them have said they wanted to do that too. So I think I'll be able to get you some of those early 1900 photographs, as well as a copy of the book.
Okay, I have another question. Is
Sure.
Harlem, I'm sorry, did you have another question, Ms. Pat? My apologies.
No, that's good. I'm okay.
Okay. Is Harlem Lyrics a nonprofit?
It's a for-profit.
Are there other questions?
The sharecropping, any prominent individuals and stories will be included?
Absolutely.
Can you go into it?
Okay, so starting out with my 4 times great grandfather, his name was Wash Foot. And I actually was able to find out, he was migrated here from Mississippi. And so I actually have the planters that he was enslaved by, moved into Hamburg and Longview, Arkansas in the mid 1800s. And so after being emancipated, I actually found him on a labor contract as a sharecropper and the terms of that contract. Him, his wife, and his oldest child was listed on that labor contract, as well as his sister and her family. And so I have two sharecropping contracts that was spelled out, that will be included in the book as well. And then going through his descendants, they migrated in down to Pine Bluff, Packentown area, but they also sharecropped in Fairfield, Victoria, Williams area. And I have some of the documents that list their names on those contracts that they also executed.
Can you mention the counties as well?
I'm sorry?
The counties, can you mention those?
Oh,
not-
Jefferson.
not-
Yeah, I will.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I actually do have that information already. So Pine Bluff, Packentown, Williams, Victoria, that was in Jefferson County. And I believe Longview was in Ashley County. And all of that research has been, most of that research has been done.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I have another question.
Yes.
This is Pat. Well, the budget summary, what are the other specifics? What were those in your budget?
Yeah, I think under the other, it was purchasing other photographs that helped me tell the story, because not only am I converting those oral stories into a written narrative, I want the photographs to help me depict that story. And so under other, I think I had, I'm sorry, I don't have my budget in front of me. I apologize for that. But I think it was mainly for
$610.
photographs. And I put an example in the packet of what I had been paying for previous photographs or illustrations, just to give a field of reference. And prematurely, I have looked at the Arkansas State Archives and some of the photographs that they have, and the prices that they range. And I will say the sample invoices that I put in my packet and what I had been paying was not that amount. So hoping to get the maximum amount of the grant, I used the balance of what was left to say, this is how much I could use for purchasing other photographs. And I will say that will significantly help me, because most of those, I think those photographs are about $1,250. So I would be able to get, maybe 30 or 40 photos.
Are there any other questions? Ms. McCoy, this is Dr. Jones Branch again. I really appreciate what you're doing with this grant. I mean, I think this is very important work that you've been doing and want to do. The one issue with the grant is that the sponsoring organization cannot be for profit.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's correct.
And so my counsel at this point would be, somebody stop me if I'm saying this wrong, is that you get a different sponsor, a nonprofit sponsor, and perhaps resubmit the grant.
Okay.
And I appreciate the considerable work that you have done in putting this together, but it must be a nonprofit, the sponsoring organization.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're most
Dr.
welcome.
Branch, if I may,
Yes, ma'am.
It doesn't have to be a 501c3 nonprofit, but it does have to be a nonprofit or not for profit. It just can't be a for-profit business.
Did you hear that, Ms. McCoy?
I did. And what is the difference with a not-for-profit? I understand a 501c3 is a nonprofit. What is a not-for-profit?
Like our state parks are not for profit. They're not officially nonprofit 501c3 businesses, but they don't get a profit basically. If you look on the Secretary of State's website, they have a database you can search to see if the business you're looking at is considered not profit or for profit and that type of thing.
Okay. Well, and let me ask this question. So if I can get a sponsoring agency, would it be necessary for me to wait another 3 months? Or is it possible that this could be considered if I can get another sponsoring agency now?
No, ma'am, you would have to have it reapplied with the new business because the business is the applying entity. They're the ones we're going to cut the check to.
Okay.
So you have to have that business as the applicant.
Thank you so much. I hate that was a misunderstanding. That just cost me some months. Thank you. I'm being optimistic, obviously.
Yes, please. You're not dead in the water. You're just sitting in the boat for a little while.
Okay.
That's okay.
Waiting until the docks clear.
Yeah, waiting for the dock to clear.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time.
Sure. You all have a good day.
You as well.
Thank you.
Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, and yes, Miss Morris is now on the line, Deborah Ann Morris.
Yes, yes.
Good afternoon, very good to see you. Would you mind talking to us a little bit about Miss Clown's virtual museum tour?
Well, it is a historical account of the first African American female clown within 100 years that the Washington, D.C. Smithsonian Institute has deemed me with. And I have been performing and collecting different artifacts of my, experiences through this endeavor that I've been doing since 1980. So what I've done is I've created a collection of different masks, different Black clowns all around the United States. And by being based here in Arkansas, where my family roots are from, I started doing some historical reading on my ancestors. My minor, first of all, let me tell you, my major in college was drama, and my minor was Pan-African Studies. So to combine this with my talent and what I was doing, I was researching my family history here in Arkansas and found out that the land here, which I'm on, are from my ancestors who were natives here, and they merged in with the Indians and the Africans. And so we've been on this land for over 100 years, and I still wanted to preserve it some kind of way with what I've been through. So what I've done is done a research from my history here, from Africa all the way to the Smithsonian Institute, and how, my family has survived and what they had to do. And through me being one of the last of the descendants, because now our family is real small, I wanted to preserve this. And so I've created in one of their houses, this museum. And I have masks, and I have my costumes, I have all these artifacts. And so I decided to have, a museum. But with the pandemic, I said, well, let me do it virtually. And so I've created this virtual kind of program that I've been doing and trying to sponsor it and make it look more professional. And with the help of your organization, I thought I could, try to pull this off and make it a landmark. That's basically, in those 2 words, what I'm doing.
Thank you, Ms. Morris. What questions do the commissioners have?
In regards to what? Explain that to me.
Sorry,
Kind of-
I'm asking the commissioners if they have questions.
This is Pat. Can we buy equipment like the cameras and the printers and things like that? Can we provide money for that?
April, are you
I
there?
guess I can answer this one. We can buy equipment if it is going to continue to be used for the same purpose that the grant is paying for it for. Like if we buy a display case, it's going to continue to be used to display the item, like the Bible that we granted last time. That display case is going to be used specifically for that use continually.
Yes, it will be. Mhm.
I do have one question that I might bring up for the commissioners, if that's okay, Dr. Branch.
Sure.
Okay, on her budget form, several of the items that she notes appear to be salaries for like a photographer, for docents, a graphic artist.
I see that.
So do you need me to answer that, what I need that for?
Yes, please, because this is going
Okay.
to be a virtual tour for which you want to pay.
Right, it's
Actors and
almost
docents?
like, in a sense, it's a live stream. So I want to make sure that I have the proper camera and the photographer or the videographer to, make sure that they are, capturing what I'm trying to display. And then I will also be like the announcer, the storyteller, because it's going to be in storybook form that I'm doing. And so, I need real good graphics that I'm not that good at portraying, under a particular picture. They'll be able to, capture what that particular piece is about. And doing flyers and a little mini trailers on what I'm doing here.
Okay, so if I'm understanding you correctly, you would need a graphic design artist to do that.
Correct.
Okay.
And I have some in mind, people that I've worked with that I know who could do a good job at this
Okay.
particular.
And can you talk to us about the role of the docents and the actors, because you have monies?
Okay, the docents are people who are like, you would call them ushers and people who would be able to describe what they're looking at. Say, for instance, you see a picture behind me. Now, the picture behind me are 3 little girls doing face painting of a clown painting a face. So I would give a description to this particular docent to describe what they're seeing. And it's a twofold thing. And if they're actors, they would be maybe acting out a particular event or a story that I'm telling. And so I would like to give them some kind of donation, gratitude, or something for their time, because they are, working, and they would be part of the presentation.
All right, yes, ma'am. I do understand what you're saying. Unfortunately, the Black History Commission of Arkansas cannot pay salaries.
Well, it's not a salary I'm talking about. It's a donation. It's like a gratitude for their.
And this is Commissioner
time.
Washington.
Yeah,
I
but not
apologize for
salary,
interrupting.
no.
Yeah, this Commissioner Washington, that sounds like more of an honorarium, and I don't. Does that still fall under the same question?
That's
as
a better word, like an honorarium.
But I think that would still fall under, as far as our commission's definition of salaries and payments that are made to third parties or even people that are involved within the project. It still will kind of fall in that same definition. Am I correct in that interpretation to the floor?
Whether or not these,
April, help us out here.
if we call them honorariums instead of salaries, can she put them in?
If they're donations or honorariums.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when y'all approved the grant for I've been working on the railroad. They had they gave $25 honoraries to people they were interviewing. They weren't paying them. They were just giving them something to say, we appreciate your time. So.
Hargrove.
Just
one of the things that I'm having difficulty with is the format. I don't see the traditional format. Is there a particular reason for not having that budget format of in-kind, so I can see the honorarium on the in-kind versus the request? That form seems to be missing on mine.
It does on mine as well.
Mine too.
Yeah, mine too. If I'm reading this correctly, where it says in-kind of services at the end, artwork, statues, artifact, and lights.
Yeah.
Those are theatrical lights.
Where's that traditional form that we normally assess from?
Yeah, I think he's asking you.
The form is on our website.
No, the one we just approved, there was a form at the end and it followed a traditional format. This doesn't conform to that format that we've always.
Right.
I also have another question. I noticed also in this application packet that there's a document from the Secretary of the State of California.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's a nonprofit organization that I've worked with for years, and I thought that would, be part of my package that would validate.
Okay, so this is a separate entity from Miss Clown's Entertainment and Museum Unlimited.
Well, it's an organization that works with me, a nonprofit organization. I think it's the Movie Boosters of America, who, you know, they're an organization that I've worked with and been on the board, and they just, you know, they're there as my cheerleaders of whatever, you know, if I need some assistance or need a nonprofit organization verifying who I am.
This is Pat again.
Because I'm originally from California, by the way.
I'm sorry, Miss Pat, go ahead, please.
What will you give to the archives, to our archives? What through this grant?
I would be willing to donate one of my costumes. I have about 6 or 7 costumes. The Smithsonian Institute has archived all of my costumes and all of my artifacts. So it's in the Smithsonian Institute. But as far as physical, they don't have anything physical. But I'd be willing to donate one of my costumes and one of my ancestors' old pictures where it shows us from the beginning. And some other artifacts, maybe some clown statues, some Black clown statues that I do have.
I'm sorry, perhaps I misunderstood. So you have some things and the Smithsonian has some things. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Well, the Smithsonian has deemed me as Kente clown, which is an African clown, the African American clown, the only one in the United States from for 100 years they've researched, and that I've kept it into my business and goals. And so what I'm saying is one of my Kente, which they're very valuable, and I'd like that to be a part of your archives because it's real valuable. It's hard to give it up, but you know, long as it's going to be preserved, I'm fine with it, because then that gives a historical account of what I've done here.
Is that document available to us from the Smithsonian indicating the 1999 in 100 years?
Yes, it is. You go through the, not the African American Museum, because I was before that. So it's in the African artifacts, and you can call them up or whatever you do to verify that I'm part of their collection.
No, do you have that document showing us that you are part of that collection?
Oh, yes, I do. I have that in.
Can we get access to that document?
Sure, sure you can. Uh-huh.
And one more question is, when do you expect the project to be completed again? I'm trying to see.
Well, I have a presentation in September. That's what I'm shooting for.
September 18th, Dr. Hargrove.
Gotcha. Now, go back to the original question about the in-kind. I didn't see a monetary value for in-kind. I saw items. I didn't see a monetary value for in-kind. It's on, keep scrolling down in your budget area. And it's not the traditional format. There it is. In-kind services and gifts, artwork, statues, artifacts, and lights. And then it lists them, but there's no monetary value that you are given.
No, I didn't put that on there because it could be worth so much
Well,
that if I
the $3,500 is being asked. I want to see what you are given. We're given 35. What are you given?
oh, I see. I see what you're saying.
Right.
Right. Okay. I didn't put that in there, but I would say at least half of.
It would be helpful to have that spelled out within the document itself so that the commissioners could
Okay.
take a look at that.
And use that traditional format, please.
Traditional format.
Okay. Traditional. Okay.
So I think what Dr. Hargrove and I are both saying, and please correct me if I am wrong, that I think that you might want to consider resubmitting this application.
Based on the format.
In the traditional format.
I agree.
And so if there are no questions, are there any additional questions?
So, yes, when you are mentioning the traditional format, which format did I submit it in?
Ms. Morris, you remember the link that I sent you via email that had the application pages 15 through 17 on the application? Remember that link I sent you to click on? It had the budget summary, the 6-month review, and all those different forms.
Okay, I thought that's the form that I used. Whatever that link was that I came through, I assumed that was the same link.
When you upload it,
and I think we went back over it. I'm trying to figure out which.
There is a page for the budget in that document that you could fill out. And so, yes, you do have some parts.
So that's
the format,
that's the traditional format you need?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so, all right.
If there are no other questions from
So which means I have to start the whole, does that mean that I have to start the whole thing all over again? Or how does that work? And will that be in time enough for my program?
Yes, ma'am. You will have to revise this application and resubmit it.
Resubmit it, and so then how long does that take before I'm hearing anything from you? Will that be before my program? This is what I need to know.
When is the next submission deadline, Tiana?
July 1st.
July 1st.
Okay.
I mean, not July 1st, July 2nd, my fault. I had another date for July. July 2nd is the deadline, and you guys won't meet till August to say yes or no. So when is your program, Ms. Morris?
It's in September 18th.
Well, if everything works out and you submit everything that they need, and if they say yes to your program, to your grant, then August, September, you're pushing it. but it is possible. All the paperwork, I's dotted, T's crossed, you're pushing it, but it's possible. That's what I can say. It's possible, it's doable, but.
It would be pushing it, yes, because the deadline, as Tiana said, is July 2nd, but the next BHCA meeting is August 11th.
Okay, so as far as my grant application, is there a chance? I mean, is it a good thing? Are you considering, would you consider it?
Done properly.
You would, of course, reconsider a resubmission.
Okay.
And the trigger mechanism for me was you put the dates down on your in-kind services and gifts. And I noticed that those dates on that next page of May 2nd, hire a handyman, start painting 3 rooms on May 7th. And you detailedly list, send out scripts on August 18th, September 1, rehearsal start. How much you're trying to charge for? What is that price there? Dress rehearsal on September 17th. You go into your deadlines very extensively. You show, and you have a tour day on September 18th. All these are listed as in-kind services. How much do they cost?
Okay. All right. Okay. So, okay. So I can keep it like that. Just let you know what those in-kind services amount
No,
to.
ma'am. Use that traditional format
Yes.
Okay, use the traditional format. Okay.
of the budget.
Okay, so I have to go
Miss,
back through it because I'm not.
Miss Morris,
Yes.
I will get with you on tomorrow. And
Okay.
we can go over it again, and I can show you exactly what form they're talking about and where everything needs to go from my previous. I'm trying to find my email, but I'll send everything back to you so you can, and we'll go over it via Zoom. We'll have a Zoom meeting. We'll go over the forms, and I'm going to try to get the forms individualized so that I can just automatically email them to you instead of you going to the link and going scroll through that. But yes, I will get with you tomorrow.
Okay, great. Okay, I appreciate that.
And
Okay.
we'll go over this again.
All right. Thank you all very much.
So do we need to entertain a motion for a revise and resubmit?
I don't think so. I think she gets that point. We're not going to accept that until it's
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think you're good.
I'm sorry, what did you say, April?
I believe you're okay now.
Okay, good deal.
right.
Great. Thank you so much, Ms. Morris, for your time and for sharing your project with us.
All
And we look
right.
forward-
Thank
We
you.
look forward to seeing your application.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bless you.
All right. Never a dull moment.
So no grant was awarded.
No.
All right, next we have our African American History Program Coordinators Report.
Yes. Good afternoon, lovely commissioners. How are y'all?
Doing fine, how are you?
I cannot complain. I cannot complain. Like you said, Dr. Jones Branch, never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment in my life. I promise you it's not. But the only thing I have right now is that your upcoming symposium is July the 4th, African Americans and Religion in Arkansas.
June.
June 4th. See, I went to a whole nother- June 4th. And of course, we have 3 awesome presenters Dr. Logan Hampton. Just so excited to hear what he has to talk about. He's talking about, oh, I can't even read this stuff. Faith of Our Four Parents, that's his title, and Commissioner Washington, Religion from a Millennium's Perspective, and Reverend Edna Mack Pettigrew, I Am a Woman, I Am a Minister. So we got three different speakers with three totally different topics that I'm really excited for. As of right now, we have 30 people registered, so we need y'all to send that link out, promote, and all that good stuff on that. And no one responded to my email that says who is going to be in attendance. I know Cherie said she will be out of town, so, and I know Walter Washington will be there because he's a presenter. Pat said she would be there because I spoke to her personally. And Dr. Harger, I just know the chair of the commission is going to be there, correct?
Yes, and you got my email. I responded very positively to you.
Okay, I had so thousands of emails. I guess I missed them. I like verbal communication.
Put it.
No, Lisa's going to be there.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Did you make the correction on that minister for that third speaker?
Yes, we did. We did make the corrections. And we did change the date. Remember, you had mentioned to me that the date said the 5th. We did make that correction as well. So yes.
No, on the poster flyer, the minister, the M was not capitalized on the flyer. The new flyer. The new poster. The new poster.
It's capitalized. It's capitalized now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But all the corrections that were submitted to me, they have been corrected. Thank y'all for all these eyes.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so because I'm looking at the updated poster that you just sent us, and it says associate minister, and minister has not been.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, minister, I thought you said her name. Minister's supposed to be capitalizing that?
The capital M.
Mm-hmm.
Just something to D. No. Well,
I mean, if that's what they want, then they can, but I don't know how quickly I can get that turned around.
So Tiana, so we're still in a place where we can still make changes to the flyer?
I think so. I'll have to get with Sarah today. I think because it's not capitalized, because it's her job position, and I don't know if that's her title, because she's a doctor as well. I think it's just mainly a formatting issue, but I can always, if that's what you guys want, I can get with Sarah and have that corrected. But hopefully I can get it done today, but it's kind of difficult to get with her lately. So she's just swamped with work. I'll try and get it done today if that's what you'd like.
Yeah, it looks strange. It looks like a sore thumb.
Okay.
It looks diminutive. And so for AME pastors, having that capitalized would be a pretty big deal.
Sure. No, I understand. That's why I'm asking for it. So, okay.
Yeah, it would be a big deal.
I will email her right now.
Yes.
Where's Minister Washington? He's not on the line.
Well, now that's not my title or position though. So I can't speak either of those. So, but yes, I am in agreement as well that capitalizing would be more, I guess appropriate and respectful for those lists.
Yeah.
And Pat.
Yes.
I have Commissioner Washington's bio. I'm going to send it to you because I'm going to need you to introduce him before he speaks.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah,
please send it to me. Well, I can practice.
And of course, I wouldn't take the honor away from Elise and have her not introduce her father. So I'm going to give that honor to her. And I'm going to allow Carla to introduce Reverend Mac Pedigree, because she is an acquaintance of hers. And because Dr. Hargrove, you're gonna be busy enough as it is. So I need you hands-free to do whatever we need to do.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'll take the garbage out. I'll be available.
No, but you might need to do a little loaves and fishes actually with the breakfast boxes.
So, yeah.
All right, do we have any old business?
Not to my knowledge.
Do we have any new business?
We do.
All right, what we got?
The email that was sent to Dr. Hargrove about the African-American rulers for the 20th and 21st century.
Yes. Can we talk about that? I think Dr. Ware explained it to me. Can you talk a little bit on my behalf, Dr. Ware?
Okay. I would not put words in your mouth, but I will try not to make too much of a mess of it. But at any rate, several years ago, we created a ruler with the available likenesses of as many of the African-American legislators of the 19th century as was possible. This was the first time that their likenesses had been collected together. We don't have portraits of all of them and so forth. And there was an exhibit mounted by the History Commission, as it was back then, a traveling exhibit of their portraits, which was really the first attempt to remind wider Arkansas that, yes, indeed, there were large numbers of African-American legislators in both the state house and the state senate up into 1893. Yes, and April is holding up an example of this very cool ruler. Unfortunately, unless you've got it right on your face, it's going to think it's in the wrong place. But the suggestion was that the Black History Commission might, in fact, sponsor or have created a ruler with the likenesses of the Black legislators of the 20th and 21st century, basically chapter 2 of that ruler. My joke was, that many portraits, we're going to need a yardstick at this point. The nice thing is that I know from my time over at the Capitol that we have all of the portraits from the composites for all of these legislators from the class of 73 onward.
Dr. Ware, sorry to interrupt, but it looks like we've lost Commissioner Washington.
Uh-oh.
Which means we do not have a quorum.
I'm right here in the flesh.
Ah,
oh,
right.
Hey, snuck in on me.
He is found.
There you are. It looked like a little blue thing to me.
That was slick. That was slick.
But at any rate, as I say, in fact, while I was over at the Capitol, I created a kind of a companion exhibit to the one from the History Commission, highlighting these legislators who came in beginning in the early 1970s and up to the present day. Then, of course, every time there's a new election, you had to update I think I updated that thing twice. Kept getting to say, okay, which portrait of Stephanie Flowers do I like best out of the bunch? But at any rate, it should be possible to create either a second ruler or find some way to combine the two. It's certainly a doable project, and the State Archives stands ready to assist the Black History Commission in making this reality if they so decide to do. Subject to April telling me what we can actually do and what we can't do, because she knows better than I do.
Depending on the day.
Gotcha.
Depending on the what now?
Depending on the day.
Okay.
And how much of my foot I'm going to have to eat with shoe attached.
Is there any reason why we wouldn't do this?
If you say no, we won't do it, but if y'all say yes, because the only thing you probably will be coming out of is like the reproduction, like we always do, to make the ruler, pay for the rule to be reproduced. That would be the Black History Commission's portion. The Arkansas Archives would actually do all the hard work, and y'all would just cut the check.
I see Carla shaking her head.
But that's basically what happened with the first ruler.
Right.
We did all the paperwork, found the research, did all the stuff, and then y'all paid for it to be reproduced. So. And one of the people from the secretary's office came over here to get it, and it was their suggestion they would love to see a part 2. So that's when I had her email Dr. Hargrove with her recommendation that they would like to see that.
Myron Jackson did the first format, but now I guess Myron Jackson, that was a problem with getting.
He did the rule?
Yeah.
I thought he did.
We can't hear you.
Sorry, I hit a button that was wrong.
Oh.
We are unmuted.
I was trying to unmute myself. No, it's Julian Crawford did the ruler here.
Yeah, that's right. She did all of that. He did our logo.
The first one Julian did, but Julian, was it just the logo that she had an issue with? I thought he changed up the color and everything. There was an issue about some type of format that Julian was trying to get Myron Jackson to resubmit so that they could,
It was the logo.
Okay, it was the logo.
It was
Okay,
the
I'm
logo
sorry.
she could not get.
Okay.
I don't think he was around when we did the ruler. If he was
The second part.
Yeah, maybe the second part,
Yeah.
but either way, we still have the capability of creating it.
Okay, good. Good job.
I think we ought to do it.
Okay, when you get ready for the motion, I'll approve. I'll motion.
Oh, do I need to make a motion? A formal motion?
Yes, that would be nice.
Okay, I move that.
Oh, no. You just call for it. I'll make the motion.
Oh, okay. My apologies. I think we ought to do it. Your part. Your turn.
Okay, I move that we enter into this partnership and do it.
Yeah. We need a
second.
Okay, there we go. We got a second.
Ms. Johnson, Commissioner.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
So-
If there is not anything else.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Can I just wanted to bring up something on the new business that maybe you all could entertain. I had sent Dr. Hargrove an email from Drew Ulrich that had done a display in Helena.
Okay.
And it would be a traveling display that the Black History Commission would have to further educate on the first, the Black and Tan, and the first African-American man to run for governor. So if y'all would, I think that would be, a good project for the Black History Commission, because we don't have anything new since the other traveling displays. So I think that would be a good project for the Black History Commission to entertain.
Does she need the Madam Chair needs to see that?
You can send it
that
to
request.
Yeah, if you would
Send
mind
it to her.
sending it to me.
Okay. Oh, you sent it to my Philander, didn't you?
I can't remember.
Okay, hold on one second.
Carla, if you send it to me,
I sent it to you too, David.
did I?
Yes.
I don't remember seeing it, but on the other hand, I forget a lot these days.
Okay, I'm sorry. But it was the
I
Black.
can certainly resend
Okay.
to the members of the commission.
Okay.
Okay, you can, do we need to have a vote on that today, Carla?
If, I would think that if, think that since it's something for the Black History Commission, and you know, and it's money, it's not very expensive. Drew had gotten with the vendor that did his, that was going to compile it. So I think that since this is the end of the year and you have some money, that you could, it would be a good time to entertain.
Was that the 13th Memorial in May cemetery reveal of the history of early Black communities?
No, that's a new one. Drew Ulrich from the Delta.
That's the only one I'm seeing that you sent me. Was there?
Dr. Branch, I didn't send it to you.
No, I don't recall, but then I get a lot of
It's
emails.
Drew Ulrich. TC, if you got it. Can you put in Drew Ulrich? Or put in,
Okay, let me check.
okay, it's from the Delta Cultural Center.
And folks, I will check to see if I got it.
Okay, State Archives position, then you sent,
It would have been last year.
last year.
Like the end of the year.
December.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or January. What month is it?
No, you don't have to send me that again.
Okay.
If you send it to.
If you want to consider us actually doing an exhibit like that, the commission can say, yes, we're interested in the project, and we can start compiling the information for you and stuff. But this late in the fiscal year, you wouldn't have time for the planning and design work to be done before the end of the fiscal year for us to do it. So if you wanted to start the project now, when we have the first meeting in the new fiscal year, then you could vote for the expense then.
Okay, I like that plan.
So May is too late to, if the project has already been planned and plotted and the price estimated.
Okay, are you asking for them to consider doing a traveling exhibit through us or through somebody else?
Through the Black History Commission. The Black History Commission would pay for it, and it would be housed here at the archives, just like the other traveling displays.
So what are they asking as far as finances for this project? It's little.
If Dr. Hargrove could, Dr. Hargrove, you don't see, because I forwarded it to you. You don't see Carla Coleman sent you an email with the black and tan display?
Black and tan. No, and you said around December.
Yes.
Is the project still going on? Or?
Well, they displayed it. They had it in Helena. And then I thought that it would be a good display for the, because nobody knows about that history. And he talks about when it was the Black Republicans, the white Republicans, there was a disagreement.
So it's a display already created?
Well, yes, the display is already.
For the Delta Cultural Center.
Yes.
But now you want to create one for?
The Black History Commission that is travelable.
So
it's
would
miniature.
Would they do it? Will they create it, or will we?
It's already been created.
So will they duplicate it? And
that's what the Black History Commission would do, is to duplicate it in these little pull-up shades.
Oh, and retractable.
The retractables.
So then the other asking is to pay for the thing to be created.
Yes.
So how much would that cost?
Well, until we can, I can't pull up my email. My SBC Global is messed up because I changed the.
So basically, we need to know how much it's going to cost and vote on whether or not we want to foot that expense.
Yes.
Yes.
And since the Black History Commission with the monies that we have, your operational money, it would be under that, even what you have left in the budget.
Yeah, but we got to figure out what the price is.
Right, and I
Yeah, so
can't.
So
Right.
how are we gonna handle this? Because we really we can't move on this until we know
You know what
we're
yes.
moving on, how much money we're talking about.
That's true, that is true. Well,
David, did you have a question?
May I?
Yes, of course.
May I stick my oar in? Well, not of course. I don't presume around here. I have been taught well by my colleagues. What I would suggest is that Carla's looking there. I could contact Drew and see what the status of that exhibit is. Of course, it was for the Delta Cultural Center. It was an exhibit prepared by DAW itself. And if the Delta Cultural Center wants to try to create a traveling circulating version of it in collaboration with the Black History Commission, we can help them actually get figures for what it would actually cost to get it fabricated, available for circulation. And I would be happy to contact Drew and put him in touch with Julianne, who has experience putting traveling exhibits together, and figure out the most economical way of getting a good product available and then getting it out in front of the public.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can do a little bit of legwork on behalf of the commission, I'll be happy to do so.
Yeah, that would absolutely be most appreciated. I guess my question is, when exactly? I mean, we can't really on anything until we have that information, right?
Right.
Okay.
That's correct.
Carla's on the phone with Drew right now.
If he can send us something that we can display, that you can display for us, we can act on it perhaps today.
Right.
They still may not be able to manufacture it this late in the date before the end of the fiscal year.
Okay. All right, send it to David. Thank you. Bye-bye. David Drew said he's going to email it to you. Now he's going to put it up and he'll email it, but we can, the board can entertain it later if you would like.
Okay. Did
How
you
much
all hear
later?
that?
How much later? Next meeting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's
Okay.
the new fiscal year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we wouldn't vote on this until the next fiscal year.
If you did not today, you would have to wait until August meeting.
Okay, that's fine.
That's next year, isn't it?
No, that's in a couple of months.
Yeah, it's
next
August.
fiscal year.
Next
August.
fiscal year.
Yeah,
The next fiscal year.
Mhm.
We only have about 6 weeks to go.
Yeah, only 6 weeks from now. All right.
Okay.
So
Thank
we
you.
settled on that for August. Okay, so next is we know that the next meeting is at 12 o'clock on August 11th.
Does that still work for everybody?
That still works for me. And of course, I will likely be joining via Zoom again. This
One of
hybrid
these
method.
days, we'll get you here. One of these days.
One of these
Therese,
days-
we had cookies today just to try
Now,
to
what
lure
kind of
members in.
cookies? What kind of cookies?
Half moons and madeleines.
Huh?
Half moons and lemon zest madeleines.
Nah, that's not enough.
That's right. You see,
Sorry.
Those are my kind of cookies.
David did that
I
on
like those.
purpose.
I like those cookies they give you on Delta Airlines. I like those cookies.
Uh-huh.
The Belgian
I
cookies.
need a plane ticket too.
Huh?
I said, we got those cookies, we need to be on the plane.
No, you can buy them. Belgian Biscoff cookies. Yeah, those-
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh, Biscoff cookies.
Listen,
Okay.
listen,
I can
Sharice, I'm
be
trying to
motivated
get on
by
a
that.
plane.
We're trying to go
I'm
somewhere.
trying to get on the plane, Sharice, don't take.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I want our commissioner to pray for David Ware, because David Ware did it because he knew I had a tooth situation. He wanted sweets.
But the Madeleines aren't.
But if we don't have anything else, may I get a motion to adjourn?
Oh, let's thank you first for your capable assistant, and you're just so outstanding with everything you did today. And
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate you. But maybe next week I'll be feeling better for this big conference. I know I will.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
Yes.
We go ahead and claim that and count it as done. Well, I'm hungry, folks.
Feed that dog.
I'll
Feed
make
that
a motion
puppy.
to adjourn.
I got one more question.
Okay, so someone has.
Commissioner
moved-
Washington has a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Regarding June 4th, is that Eventbrite linked to the Facebook page as well? Okay, so that way, just wondering, that way folks like
Yeah,
her.
if you go to the Facebook events on Archives Facebook page, it's in there.
And when people go on Facebook, you'll automatically count the Eventbrite total.
Yeah, I mean, the registration link is on Facebook. They have to click that Eventbrite and it takes them over there and that's where they register.
So with that, the only recommendation I would have is whoever has access to to both,
Which is me, yeah.
if you are able to link them, so that way that event page on Facebook, when someone says, "Hey, I'm going," you'll automatically transfer
Oh,
to
yeah,
Eventbrite.
I wish I could, but
Yeah.
no, but they're interested in that for that event because it's if they're going, but I mean, it says like you have to register first in the description.
Right.
But the going link is a Facebook
Right. And
event
so-
link.
and
I
the-
can't change where it clicks to. Like if they click going to that
Yeah.
event, yeah, that's a Facebook thing.
Right, so when you're in the backside of Eventbrite.
Oh, yeah.
You can connect the company page to Eventbrite.
Yeah, it's
to
on
where-
there.
To where automatically when someone does hit going, it'll register with Eventbrite.
Oh, no, I don't know if I could,
Yeah, and so.
I don't know, I can look, I can
Yeah,
try, but
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I mean, well, we do it, I've done it with numerous pages before, and so for that reason was because that way I can get the Eventbrite, I can get more accurate numbers and more accurate information as opposed to having someone, like you said, having to go click on a link from somewhere else to then go to Eventbrite.
Get with me after, so you can show me what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
definitely. That was my only question.
No, that's fine.
Thanks all.
Okay, you have a motion on the floor.
Okay, I have a dream. If it's something that I haven't thought of before, I'm all for it.
Got a motion
Folks, we have a motion on the floor.
Is the motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Yeah.
I second that motion.
All right. Thank you all so much. We are adjourned at 1:17 p.m. Everybody
Come
take
through,
care.
come through, Sharice, come through.
You know, I'm telling you, I'm gonna join y'all in person one of these days. But I got a lot of
Even
traveling
if
to
we have
do.
to come up there to meet, to make that happen.
Huh?
Even if we have to come up there to meet, to make that happen.
Yes, please do come to Jonesboro. That would be lovely.
You know, we heard.
We'll make it happen.
Thank you, Dr. Cerise.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Everybody take care and have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you all.
Vote.
Yep, I voted. I voted.
And vote.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.